Hi everyone, it's Matthew again. So finally, I've got my hands on the all-new Xiaomi Redmi Note 3, which is the successor of the Xiaomi Redmi Note 2. I've been using the Note 2 for almost a year now, and this seems to be the right opportunity to do a short comparison video between these two. Now, looking at this, I have to say that the competition in China's smartphone market has just gotten even more hectic because last year, it was this piece of plastic that was initially sold for 899 RMB. And this year, they switched it to metal for the same price. And of course, metal back does seem to be prettier than the plastic, but just how much of an improvement that the Note 3 really is compared to the Note 2, I'm going to share with you my thoughts here. First, let's just check out the front. You have the same old 5.5-inch IPS screen as the Redmi Note 2, but clearly the Note 3 is significantly more compact than the Note 2. This is something not quite easy to achieve here, so bravo. And look at the front camera. They are placed differently, and the new one is moved on the right hand side. Honestly, it doesn't bring major differences to the photo they take since they both are of 5 megapixels, but when you take a closer look over here, you'll see that the speakers is no longer the same. The Note 3 has come up with some kind of a web-like design, making the sound that comes out of it more crispy. Well, don't take my word for it. Now let's hear it a little bit.
欢迎致电中国移动，普通话请按1，广东话请按2。For English service, press pound key. 欢迎致电中国移动，普通话请按1，广东话请按2。For English service, press pound key.
And down here, you still have the three physical buttons, but the trademark red color on the Note 2 is no more. Visibility-wise, it doesn't differ much from the Note 2, I should say, but it just makes the new Redmi Note 3 less red, if you know what I mean. Moving on with the cover, and here's where the major changes come in. Material-wise, the Note 3 uses metal in the middle and plastic on both top and the bottom of the cover. So this should be the logical design because you won't want metal on the top nor the bottom because that will mess up your phone signals really bad. Like I said earlier, metal does look prettier than polycarbonate. But the downside is that the paint on this one can wear off after some time of use, so you might want to prepare an extra cover for it. Now, the camera is round this time, plus you have this dual LED flashes which guarantee to give your macro photo smoother lighting. So here's a couple of macro photos taken for your reference. If you want my opinion, I would say that the dual LED flash is no doubt a plus. The lighting seems to be more evenly distributed from the Note 3. Plus, its color reproduction is more authentic. Bottom line, the reddish glow caused by the monocolor flash in the Note 2 is significantly reduced in the Note 3. The fingerprint scanner feels quite accessible and you just can't mistake it from behind for the camera thanks to its precision. And getting my fingerprint registered wasn't difficult at all since I only scanned my index finger 9 times to get it done. So far, the recognition rate for unlocking screen has been quite encouraging. It almost instantaneously recognizes my fingerprint and unlocks my screen. And the scanner here will be also implemented into other functions such as mobile payment, but that's going to come up later. So I can't say for sure now if it is practical or not. Maybe some of you can share with us your experience when the time comes. Going further down, we have the two speakers whose position are different, and the speaker on the Note 3 is seemingly bigger than the Note 2. Well, when you take a closer look, you will see that not all the dots here are opened, only like 1/3 of them are actually opened. So not sure what this really means, but let's compare a little bit the sound. Then you have this very tiny part that is raised above the rest of the cover here. This prevents the speakers from being blocked when the phone is placed on the flat surface with the screen facing up. Well, you just don't have that on the Note 2. Now let's see what this little modification here can do. moving on to the bezels. Right hand side, you still have the two physical bottom, the volume and the power on off, lining up on one side. Still the same old excellent workmanship. It's not loose at all. And on this side, nothing on the Note 2, but you got the dual micro SIM card slot for the Note 3. So no SD card slot this time. Now that's a downer for me. On the top, apart from the standard issue stuff, you can also find a IR emitter that is placed on the top of the Note 3. So for those of you who still think that Xiaomi is nothing but a cheap smartphone maker, bear in mind that Xiaomi never intend to make much money from just selling smartphones. They also have a complete range of home automation products that are in the same ecosystem with their smartphones. So this is the thing that might eventually let more people into buying their other stuff. So you can say that they're trying to sell you an entire ecosystem, which can be crazy profitable when it becomes more and more mature. Now, before I go to the next part, let's talk about one final point of the Note 3's cover. It is not removable, apparently, and this should mean that the battery is integrated with the main board. Now, this should prevent the smartphones from automatically restarting in case of a major shock. I mean, I'm in the habit of going jogging with my Note 2 here, strapped to my arms, and in some cases it just restarts by itself when I'm running. Maybe it's because the shock that can cause the battery to short circuit. The Note 3 shouldn't have this kind of problem. And let's talk about the performance of the hardware for a bit. For the new Note 3, it is equipped with the MediaTek 6795, aka Helio X10, which is a octa-core architecture under MediaTek. I'm not going through many details here, but nothing says it better than 3D graphic benchmark and big-ass 3D games. So, in 3D Mark, the Note 3 has significantly better frame rate than the Note 2. They are both on performance mode while I'm doing the test. And while playing Real Racing 3, both models hits up after a certain amount of time, and the Note 3 seems to handle the heat better than the Note 2 thanks to its metal cover. But on both models, the heat seems to be concentrated around the back camera. This can mean that the GPU's placement is close to the back camera, and I'm just not sure whether long-time gaming can affect your back camera's performance, so watch out. And we have arrived at the battery life. Now, I don't have an additional micro 4G SIM card to compare battery performance on 4G standby, but I did this. I charged both smartphones to 100% the night before and unplugged them at the same time. Then I left both their Wi-Fi's on for the night. This is what I have discovered this morning. The Note 3 was still 100% charged. This is kind of ridiculous, while the Note 2's batteries dropped by 3%. So this says something about battery consumption of the two, and not to forget that the battery of the Note 3 is 32% bigger than the Note 2. I mean, in terms of capacity. So it is possible that the Note 3 is more energy efficient while having a bigger battery. Now that sounds really interesting. Alright, let's go over my little verdict like real quick, because I have to get this back like real quick. I can't say that the Note 3 is a huge leap forward compared to the Note 2, but the devil is in the details. There are just a few small changes that make the Note 3 more enjoyable. Plus, you have a very reactive fingerprint scanner and the Helio X10 chipset that punches harder in 3D performance. So clearly, Xiaomi does not have to wear itself out by simply putting a lot of major changes on one model to catch up with the competition. All that it counts is that you can come up with a right model with the right amount of effort at an affordable price. I guess HTC should really learn from this. Now, many of you can be tempted to buy this model right here. I say this can be a smart choice, but just remember, it doesn't support micro SD cards, so you might want to avoid the low spec version. And for compatible mobile network frequencies, you might want to check out the description down below. Alright, that will be all for my little comparison right here. If you found the info useful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. This is Matthew, and I'm signing out.